Hello, I'm Shweta Rao. I'm an alumnus from the batch of 2018. I graduated from Information Science and Engineering. I was a publicity committee head for Inpedia back then. I took my job too seriously and I think I still do. Anyways, moving on. Today I'm going to talk about what I learned in the first year of my corporate career. So I currently work as an assistant manager for a chatbot development team in an MNC. After my engineering, I did my Young India Fellowship, which is a postgraduate course in liberal arts, and then I straight away came to my first job here in Gurgaon. So let's get straight to this. I'm mainly talking about this because when I joined my job in the corporate field, I didn't really have anyone to talk to me about these things, and I learned them along the way. And I hope this is very useful for those of you who are going to start your jobs in the corporate field. And even if you're someone who's looking out for a job, what I have to say to you is please make your online presence very strong. Connect with people who are in key positions that inspire you. Ask them what they've done to get there, and also maybe ask if they can give you a referral to open positions in their company. And let's move straight to the topic. So when I first joined Genpact during my interview, there was this standard question that I've had that I asked of the leaders when I get a chance to interact with them. So luckily, I've got an opportunity to connect with many leaders and mostly work with them as well. So during my interview, when I asked this question that what would their advice be to somebody who's just starting out in the company, these are people who have like 15-20 years of experience, right? So this person told me that it's very important for an individual who works in large corporates to make themselves visible, to make their presence felt. By that, what he meant was it's very important for a person to express their ideas to the top leaders and to feel free to reach out to them, to mail them, and to connect with them. And I think this was a very valuable advice. I'm still trying to do it to the best of my ability. And the next piece of advice that I got was from this leader who really inspired me by the way he works. And when I asked him the same question as to what he would have to say to somebody who's just starting out in the company, what he told me was it's very important for a person to understand the functioning of not just the team that a person is in, but also to understand how the vertical that he or she belongs to functions, how your vertical functions, how the entire company functions. It's an important learning to have for an employee because that not only sets you apart, it also helps you understand which are the key roles available in your company that you could possibly go into in the coming years. And the beautiful part about this is that you get to connect with really interesting people along the way in your mission to understand your company better. The next piece of advice was from this leader who I was hearing about from so many of my colleagues. So I just decided to drop a message to her and connect with her personally and to understand her journey. And yes, again, I asked her the same question. And what she told me was one needs to find value in everything that they do. And it's very much important in a corporate career because most of the times what might happen is as a fresher, you might not be given key positions all the time. Like you might not be given opportunities to work in key roles all the time. So it is very important for you to give your best in every piece of work that is being assigned to you because that is what distinguishes your value from the others. If you can prove that you can deliver beyond what is expected from you, that is when they recognize that a person has the capability to do much more and gives them more and more challenging tasks. But at the same time, it's very important to remember that if you feel that you are being underutilized or if you really have the capability to do more and in spite of showing it multiple times and not being given more challenging and engaging roles, I think it is time to speak out and make it very clear with your manager and have a conversation with the person. And I was recently talking to a friend of mine, and she told me how she set very clear goals right at the start. So that is when I remembered that it's very important for us to do this. I don't think I did it in a way that was the best possible way to do it. I think I could have defined my expectations much better. So this is a point that I'm adding here, because for you as a person, when you start out working in a company, it's very important for you to know as to what is expected from you. It has to be clearly defined. And if you can define what are the things that you need to do to show that you are an employee who exceeds their expectations, if it's possible for you to define that and have a clear understanding about it, nothing like it. Because especially in the company that I work in, like, these things matter in your performance appraisals and your understanding who is to be selected for your promotion. Like, I didn't have that set in paper, so I think that's something that I'll start doing from here on. And another piece of learning that I want to share is I recently read this book by Sheryl Sandberg called Lean In, which gave me a lot of information about corporate careers and how like women can go into leadership positions. Although this was mostly about highlighting the gender dynamics in the corporate careers, it does have a lot of information, a lot of key takeaways that a corporate person can maybe embrace in their working style and maybe benefit a lot from it. She highlights things like how corporate careers can no longer be seen as a ladder. It is more like a jungle gym. Like, by that, like, she gives a lot of scope for creative exploration. It's just not a one-way, two-way process. Like, it's not just up or down. Like, a jungle gym gives you like the flexibility to explore multiple fields, and it's challenging, and at the same time, like, you're not pushing somebody else down when you have to, like, it's not that only one person can go up. Like, a lot of people can do a lot of important things at the same time. I don't know if I'm doing justice to what she does, but you definitely have to read the book. And more points that she talks about is things like it's very important for hard work to be recognized and to get its fruit by default. But if that is not happening, it's very important to advocate for yourself. And she talks about how the most important aspect, what you should consider when selecting a job, is growth. How fast you can grow when you select a job. So you have to identify it on the basis of the company, how fast the company can grow, and also how fast you can grow as an individual from the company. And there are many points, many key takeaways that I have from it, and I strongly suggest reading that book if you want to know more about corporate careers. And there are more points that I want to talk about today. I think these are my personal observations from the journey, and I learned the importance of having a mentor or a sponsor. So to make it more clear, a mentor is somebody who advises you when you have like challenging situations as to like which project to choose or which career might be like better suited to you. He or she is the person who you go to for advice, and sponsor is somebody who uses their influence to advocate for you. So by that, what I mean is he or she is a person who is at a high position in the company, who can possibly say that this is the person that you can consider for this role in the company. Right? So this is mentorship and sponsorship is a very organic process that happens through connecting to people. It happens through building a relationship with them. And it's more often than not, people think that you need a mentor or a sponsorship to excel, but it's more that if you excel, then you are more likely to get a mentor or a sponsor, because these are the people who recognize the value in you and choose to be a part of that journey. So make sure that you connect with the right people, make sure to show how valuable you are to the company or to that career path in general, and then I hope that you also get a mentor or a sponsor for your journey in the corporate world. I can't stress enough about the value of upskilling. Like, your engineering is only going to be a start for your learning. I hope so. Like, it's only going to be a start for your learning journey ahead, because in the corporate world there'll be a whole different skill set like that will be required from a professional in that particular domain. So make sure you know what is required from a professional in that particular field which interests you, which excites you. Reach out to people who are already doing that and ask them what you can do, or maybe just look up their profile and see what are the kind of certifications that they have listed on LinkedIn, what are the kind of work experiences that they have, and if you can connect with them, nothing like it. So that is very, very important. And this is something that I've been trying to do currently. Like, it's very important for a professional to build their personal brand. Make sure that your colleagues, your team members, and the leaders that you work with know what you add to the table. Make sure you have a very strong online presence as well. Make sure you have a personal website. Make sure, if you're in the field of computer science, make sure you're putting up your codes online, and have a strong presence, say maybe in YouTube. Know which are those social platforms that would add value to the specific area that you are in, and make sure you have like an audience, and or at least I would say, instead of make sure, I think the right word here would be say at least try to like build an audience, and that would really set you apart from the other competition that you have. And today I think most of the recruiters look you up online, so especially if you're reaching out for job opportunities through these online platforms, right? So this is something I've been trying to do. I don't think I have a very good online presence right now, so I'm constantly working towards this. And another observation that I made is most of these leaders that I've gotten a chance to connect with, they all have this very strong passion towards something other than completely different from what they do at work, like it could be singing or football, and they've very passionately pursued it. And I think it's very important for somebody who especially is in corporates to have something that completely relaxes them. It could be anything. It could be meditation for you. It could be drawing. And I think it's important to like not leave it completely, because corporate jobs can get stressful at times. And my guess is it is these passions that they had that kept them sane in these moments as well, and helped them to move along in their journey. So yes, these are the things that I have learned in my 1 year of corporate life, and these are the learnings that I want to keep with me and try to remember and try to actually implement it as much as possible in my journey ahead. I have started this journey. I hope you've already started it, or start your journey in these domains to have a very good path ahead in your corporate career path. So that's about it, I think. Thank you so much, and feel free to reach out to me at rao.b.shweta@gmail.com, or you can connect with me on any social media sites as well. Thank you so much.